Hey, what's up guys, it's Dom from Hole Printing Inc. In today's quick video, I'll be showing you guys how to clean your DTF print head. DTF print heads can get quite messy, especially if you're printing a lot of sheets and producing high volume with these little printers. It's important to clean your DTF print head anytime you're having some issues with your nozzle check or just after some general use. I would give a good rule of thumb that every single month at least you take out this print head from your DTF printer and you clean it. Full video on how to take out your DTF print head. The video is named how to replace your DTF print head, but it's also going to be useful if you just want to clean it. So make sure you guys take a look at that video if you haven't already. Now let's get into some disclaimers before we actually remove this print head and clean it. So the first thing I want you guys to clean is this part around here. I made a bunch of videos on how to clean your DTF printer, and also I want you guys to clean this little scrub thing, this little squeegee thing right here. So once these two things are clean, you can just use alcohol swabs and just try to remove the most of it. You want to go underneath your cart right here and clean the underneath of the cart just to make sure that when you clean your DTF print head, every single other thing is clean. The next step, guys, is going to be how to clean these little dampers right here, because yes, you might be cleaning your DTF print head, but you want to make sure that these dampers are also clean, because once you insert these dampers inside of your print head, you want to make sure that there's no gunk and residue on it. So the best thing you guys can do is to grab an alcohol pad and remove anything that might have, you know, dried up on your damper. So you go side by side, removing, and yeah, go side by side, remove anything that might have dried up, and you want to do that for every single color, just making sure that you remove anything that's dried up. If you want to go a step further, guys, and you realize that, you know, your dampers are quite messy, there might be some residue, you can go with something like this. This is called a weeding tool, or also something that the dentists use, and you can go in the corners and try to remove anything that might have built up. So as you can see here, guys, I'm removing a good chunk. That's basically some dried up ink. This is going to help the life of the damper and just also make the print head print better, especially if you're going to be cleaning it. You don't want to skip any steps. So I'll just show you guys on the camera. As you can see, I removed this from my white damper. You want to do that with every single damper. I could show you guys a time lapse or go, you know, step by step, but it's pretty straightforward. You just want to clean it with an alcohol swab and remove any excess dried ink with this tool. Once that is done, you're going to be ready to actually go ahead and remove the print head you want to clean. And once, like I said, guys, I have a video. I'll have the video also as the top link in the description down below. You guys can take a look at that video on how to remove the print head. But basically the next step, once you clean this, you clean the corners right here. Everything is clean underneath the cart. The squeegee is clean. The waste ink is clean. The dampers are all clean. The next step is the print head itself, obviously. I'll show you guys how to clean it. It's very, very simple. You just need to take your time and make sure you don't skip any steps. Now, guys, before we actually go ahead and clean this print head, let me give you guys a rundown of what you need. You will need a weeding tool like this to actually go ahead and clean your dampers and maybe actually clean, you know, some dried up ink here. It just makes everything easy to scoop up and scrape with this little weeding tool. The other thing you'll need is something like this if you want to go underneath the cart, so foam swabs. All of these products will be linked down in the description, so feel free to take a look if ever you need to purchase something. And finally, guys, we covered this weeding tool, foam swabs for underneath the cart, and lastly, your most powerful asset will be these alcohol pads. Make sure it's 70% isopropyl alcohol for the best results, to make sure you don't break the print head, because it can be quite risky to go ahead and try to clean your print head. So that's why I figured I made you guys a video, so you guys will be a bit less anxious before cleaning your print head. I know how you guys feel. The first time I ever cleaned my print head, I was extremely anxious I was going to break it. So I'm really excited to bring you guys this video to guide you step by step through the process, so you might feel a bit less alone. Now, let's open up an alcohol swab and let's get right into it. First thing I want you guys to do is grab something like this, where you can put the print head inside, and you make sure that this part right here, where the print head is, I'll try to point, the print head, where it's actually laying down the ink, you want to make sure that it's, you know, not touching anything, so you can put it inside like this. But for this example, I'll be showing you guys how to do it. So, alright, so I just turned up the brightness so you guys can see a bit better. Let me turn it down though a bit. You don't need that much. As you can see, you want to clean all of the colors. First thing you can do is, go color by color and remove all of the excess. You want to do this for all of the colors, and you want to change obviously the alcohol swab. So once you did a color, you put the alcohol swab to the side, you open another one, and that's why putting it back into this jar right here while you rip open your next alcohol swab is going to be very beneficial. So you can do this alone. And now you take your print head gently again and you do the other color. You want to repeat this for all of the colors to start off with. So now I'm doing the black, and I want to do this for every single color. So I won't show you guys here, but you guys get the gist of it. You want to do every single color. Now, for the things that are a bit more stubborn and dried up ink, because some of your print heads are going to be even worse than that. Mine is looking pretty good because I cleaned it recently. But you might have to go with a little weeding tool and remove any dried up ink that might be, stuck on the print head. So you want to use this for those stubborn, hard to reach places that might have ink dried up. Now, you want to repeat this, like I said, for every single step. I'll show you guys the finished results once I'm done. But I'm basically just putting my print head here, opening up an alcohol swab, and then moving on to the next color, and also washing around. So let's say we use the white ink as an example. I would start by the top of the white ink, as so. And then I would go around like this. So around, removing anything. As you can see, it's already really better. I want to do this a few times until there's no more ink left. So now let's get into the most important part, in my opinion, which is actually the underneath of the print head. As you can see, this print head is very dirty. I have had some print heads that were worse and they were printing perfectly. However, doing the maintenance like this on the print head every other month is going to make sure that the print head lasts very long, and it's going to have a better result when printing and less errors in your nozzle check. I do apologize for the focus, guys. I realize it's focusing, unfocusing. So now the next step, you want to put your print head back inside of this container. Again, making sure that the print head itself doesn't touch anything. Open up an alcohol swab like this, and you want to start by your sides. So as you can see, the side is quite dirty. We're going to start by applying some pressure and ideally removing any ink that has built up. It might be hard to tell with the camera because of the focus, but I got a good chunk on there. I'm going to put my print head back. Now that you remove the excess, you want to pass slowly and always gently, never applying too much pressure. I want to remove the little excess that's left. So we're just going to pass like this, back and forth, and basically this part of the print head is brand new, if it can focus. So as you can see, guys, the print head is basically brand new on that side. I want to repeat on the four sides of the print head. It might be hard to see on this side because there's some shadow going on. I really do apologize, guys. It's not as easy as it looks to film these videos alone. So I want to remove everything. So I suggest you guys use a different alcohol swab for each side, just to make sure there's no cross-contamination. So just to recap, guys, I want you to remove anything on the top that might be causing some issues. If it's a hard to reach place and the ink has dried up, use this weeding tool. Then use an alcohol swab like this to remove all of the excess on the top. Once this is done, I want you guys to go side by side and remove everything, and then we'll get to the most important part, which is the bottom of the print head. So without further ado, I'm going to remove every single piece here, and then on the side I'll update you guys once I'm done and show you the results. And then we're going to do the most important part, which is actually underneath the print head where the ink is getting laid down. So this is, you have to be very gentle because this is a fragile piece of equipment. I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to clean the top of it right now, and I'll report to you guys once it's done. So guys, a general trick when you're doing the top of the print head like this, what I like to do is I go on my actual nozzle on the top, but then I take this and I go around. So I do something like this just to get to those hard to reach places and apply some pressure. This removes any of the excess ink that might have built up. So when I remove it, as you can see the other white, it's very clean. So as you can see guys, using this with the weeding tool, it's very easy to go in those hard to reach places. We have 2 more colors left. Now guys, you're seeing this video pretty quickly because this print head has already been cleaned, but you can expect to spend anywhere from like 20 minutes to a full hour doing this on this side, the sides, and underneath. So take your time with this process. I'm going over it pretty quickly because this print head is quite old and I'm only using it for a spare printer. So do take your time to do this properly guys. I just wanted to give you guys some tips on how to do this step by step. And now you want to take a look at your print head. Everything looks pretty good, especially the white. Everything looks good, so this is perfect. Now we're going to go underneath, which is the most important part. I want you guys to grab a few alcohol pads. I'm going to put these to the side, and now we're going to go side by side and clean the borders of our print head. So as you guys saw, this one is now clean. Let's go on this side, applying pressure towards the upper side of the print head. You just want to slide like this. It's normal that it might like actually blob up. You just want to go back again like this. As you can see, it's almost already brand new. Want to go in the corners, there might be some, you know, some ink there. Put it back here. Take another alcohol swab. Don't be cheap with these alcohol pads. You want to make sure that you don't cross-contaminate your print head. So just going back on the side here, applying a bit of pressure, very light. That's perfect. This side is good. Now let's move on to this side right here. Always make sure you're never you know, touching the print head. So first side, and then I'm just going to remove any excess, put it back here for now. Take another pad, remove it, go back to where we were. It's a bit more here. Good. It's very convenient guys to have a place you can drop your print head down so you can pick it up and get back to it without having to, you know, stress or anything. So let's go back on this side, quick swab, and then this side. Perfect. Let's grab another one. Now all of the 4 corners have been done. We just want to pass one more time, make sure there's nothing left. Like this, and like this. That's perfect. Now we're going to the most important part, which is the sides and the actual print head itself. So brand new alcohol swab, brand new. Make sure first we're going to start with the sides and the top. So what I'll do is I'll start right here on the corner. I want to fold my alcohol swab and just pass gently for the first pass, make it wet, and then I can use another corner and just try to apply some light pressure. I am not on the print head guys, again I am on the side of the print head, just removing all of the excess. Put the printer back down, grab another alcohol swab. You want to be really generous with these. You don't want to use an alcohol swab that's already been used. Go back and forth like this. And don't get crazy over the details guys. It's okay if there's some ink that stays there. Want to remove this like so. Perfect. As you can see, we have a clean side. I'm going to continue on. Take your time with this process guys. If ever you want to take a break, feel free. It's important that you come here with a fresh state of mind, gentle, and just remove all of the excess like this. Perfect. Put it back down. So this alcohol swab fell on the ground. I'm going to put it in the trash. You don't want to use that. There could be some hair or dust. Take your print head again, and we'll do this side really quickly. We also got some here. Got some buildup. That's good. Now we only have one side left, and then we're going to do a pass in the middle. So I'll actually put my print head like this for now. That's good. Open up another swab. I call them swab, but they're pads. One last time, we're going to go all around the print head. Again, not even touching the middle, just all around, making sure there's not anything left. Perfect. Now the most important step, guys, be very gentle on that step. I want you guys to use an alcohol swab like this. Lay it down on the print head as so. Very, very light pressure. You're not even applying pressure downwards. You're just applying pressure like this to slide it on. And I just want you guys to gently slide it like this, and that's it. It's normal that you might have some water bubbles. This is just the alcohol. That is completely normal. Now this print head is ready to be reinstalled into your DTF printer. Looks pretty much brand new. If you see any more things that you want to retouch, you can just go ahead with an alcohol swab, an alcohol pad, and just go ahead and repeat the steps one last time if you're not satisfied. So you can do something like this. Throw this out. And repeat the steps as necessary, guys. Now, before installing this print head back into your DTF printer, I want to make you guys a crash course. So, first of all, you remove your DTF print head, you clean these things, you clean on the side of these four corners, and then underneath you clean the four corners, and then you pass with the alcohol swab. Once that is done, I want you guys to come over here. If this has not been cleaned yet, the little squeegee thing inside of the printer, I want you guys to clean this with an alcohol pad and remove any excess dried up ink that could have been accumulated. So just go with the alcohol swab, do something like this, and make sure that there's no more dried up ink on both sides. And then once you're done with that, you can bring it down. You want to make sure that everything here is clean so you can pass an alcohol pad. And if there's some dried up ink, again guys, you can just use this tool right here to remove any dried up ink that might be on the corner. As you can see, we have some right here. So that's what you're trying to remove. You remove that. Now that's done, the print head's ready to be installed. You want to go underneath your cart with one of these foam swabs. So you want to go underneath of the cart. So just make sure that you clean underneath here. If ever there might be some dried up ink underneath this cart, you want to go with this and just clean. You can go from this side, the other side, or also underneath your printer. And how you can see if your cart is clean is just by sticking your head underneath the printer. So you could technically go ahead, remove this, take a look underneath the printer if you put yourself at the eye level of the print head, and just put your foam swab underneath and clean anything that's dried up. So by going over here, guys, I'm going to show you guys a quick example. I'll remove this and I can stick my head and see if my cart is dirty. And what I do is I stick my eyes underneath here, but I pass from the side here with my foam swab. So I'm looking underneath my cart, and then I can just go ahead and remove anything that's, you know, underneath the cart that might be causing some issues. You don't need to do this often, guys, but as you can see, there was a little bit here. I think I removed the chunk, but it stayed underneath. But you guys get the main point of it. You want to make sure that you do this properly. Now that you've cleaned your print head, you clean underneath, you clean on the side, you clean the squeegee, you clean the waste ink, you clean the cart, you're officially ready to install your print head. Before you do, guys, I want you guys to take a look at these dampers. Make sure that they're very, very clean, and this is going to prolongate the life of your print head. You can again go ahead with these little things and remove any dried up ink. You can go around here. There's a bunch of ways to remove any excess that might have built up. and you just want to make sure that it's clean before you insert the clean print head, because you might still have some issues if you don't do this step. So go around your dampers, make sure that everything is clean, and once you repeat that, next step, if there's no dried ink with this tool, you can use an alcohol swab. Pass on the side of the damper, as so, this side, and you want to make sure you go in the middle, as so. This damper is ready to be installed. You want to remove any dried up ink, as I was talking to you guys about. Make sure you have towels close, because this job can get very messy. And look at this, guys. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I want you guys to take your time so you can get a good clean job and make sure this printer and print head lasts as long as possible, but it comes with maintenance. We covered a lot of things, guys, and I know it can look overwhelming, but it's important to take your time when you're doing these steps to make sure that all of your equipment lasts as long as possible. If you found this video somewhat helpful, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you're new. This was Dom from Whole Printing Inc. Make a print you'll never forget.